Hey everybody, Rebecca here for another video, and boy do we have a lot to talk about. But first, an Irish toast to start this video because it is St. Patrick's Day, so happy St. Patrick's Day. To the friends who know you and like you anyway, sláinte. Okay, so, oh boy, that's good. I've never had that before. Pear cider from the Flat Rock Brewing Company in North Carolina. So, yeah. My last video. I want to say, first of all, that I am really surprised how divided the comment section was. I think it was about 50-50 for those of you who voted for me to just stick it out and keep working a few more months. And the other half was saying, nope, just follow your heart and stop now and go ahead and make all of the preparations to move to Sweden now as soon as you can. So thanks for nothing, I guess. No, I'm just kidding. But I did get so much good feedback on that video that I actually had to make some notes to remember to discuss everything with you guys for this video, because first I want to address some of the options and ideas that you guys gave in that video, and then at the end I actually have come up with a plan, and I think it's pretty solid. So yeah, y'all can let me know in the comments what you think of the plan. But some ideas that you guys had and left for me in the comment section of the last video. One of you had suggested for me to keep this house and rent it out while I live in Sweden and, you know, use the rental income to live off of. And there's actually a lot of reasons why that won't work for me. Well, one being I just don't want the stress of being a landlord. Even with a property manager, it's a lot of stress and headache to, you know, worry about somebody not taking care of this house, rent not getting paid, what have you. But the biggest reason really is that for the market in this area, I would be surprised if I could get like maybe $1,500 a month for a 3-bed, 2-bath house that I have here. And the taxes for foreign rental income for Sweden are high. I don't remember exactly what it is, but my husband and I, we did look into this option before, you know, just to explore it, because I mean, it would be an option if I wanted to pursue that. But between the taxes and just the overall headache, we decided that that wasn't a route that we wanted to go. So that was one idea that was brought up. Another suggestion that somebody had was Christopher flying over here to basically just help with some of the logistics as far as getting the house ready for sale and potentially flying back over to Sweden with the pets, you know, with him, and he would take them back with him. And I mean, it would be possible, but it's really not necessary because my mom is actually flying over here soon to help with those logistics as far as getting the house ready for sale. So, editing Rebecca here, I forgot to mention in this portion of the video that, yes, my mom is coming just to help out with things, of course, because she's a good mom and that's what she does. But also, she is getting my car. I am giving my car to her. So when I move to Sweden, the car is going to go with her. So she kind of has to come over here anyway to be able to pick up my car. And yeah, so that is the reason why it doesn't really make sense for Christopher to come over here, because mom is going to be here to help me with all of that stuff. Anyway, continuing on. Even while I'm still working, she can kind of handle things for me as far as getting rid of some of the bigger ticket items around the house that I really want to, you know, sell and try to get a little bit of income, you know, to help with moving over to Sweden. So she can handle all of that while I'm asleep during the day. And still working my job at night. So it's just really not necessary for Christopher to come all of that way just to kind of help take care of the pets and help with the house things when mom is going to be here to do that. Another suggestion that was brought up was using a private, canine jet company to move the pets over to Sweden. And I did not even know that that was a thing. So that's very cool that it exists. But I did look into it, and I looked at both Bark Air and Canine Jets, and neither one of those companies has departing flights out of Charlotte. The closest one would be New Jersey or Florida. And I mean, that's a long way away for a drive. And also, neither company had direct flights to Stockholm. So I think the closest flight as far as landing in Europe was in Germany, and that's a good 15-hour drive from Christopher's house down to Germany. And yeah, the extra expense of that, it's just that's not going to be worth it, because it's going to be just as stressful on the pets to have to drive down to Florida or New Jersey and then drive all the way from Germany up to our house in Sweden. So, I mean, it's a great idea if they had a direct flight from Charlotte to Stockholm. I totally would have paid the extra expense for that. That would have been nice, but unfortunately not. Another suggestion that was brought up was for me to quit my primary job that I have had for years, job A, and just continue working at job B until I get that sign-on bonus. So I can get the full sign-on bonus at the end of June, 1 year from my hire date, which is June 24th. So it's a good suggestion, but my insurance, my health insurance, is through my primary job, job A. So that makes things a little bit more convoluted. I suppose I probably could quit job A and try to figure out how to get signed up with health insurance for job B, but all of my doctors obviously are through job A, and I know they work with my insurance, and I am actually hoping to get some iron infusions, I hope, before I go over to Sweden. So I really don't want to mess with my health insurance right now. So I see the reasoning behind that suggestion though, and it would make a lot of sense, if I'm feeling just stressed out and hurting from working 2 jobs, then, why not just quit the original job and stick it out at job B until I get that sign-on bonus? But yeah, I don't think that I'll really choose to do that, even though it is an option. Another suggestion that was brought up was just decreasing hours at either job. And yeah, if you're in healthcare at all, that's going to go over with management about as well as a lead balloon floats. So, healthcare is just desperate for workers right now. And I think that even if I asked, my primary job wouldn't do it. And 2, my second job that I took with the sign-on bonus, it's in my sign-on bonus contract that if my hours change before the 1 year is up, then it negates the sign-on bonus. So I'm stuck with those hours. I'm either going to stick it out or not to get that sign-on bonus. Another thing that was brought up was if I would need to pay back my sign-on bonus if I quit my second job early. And I did actually email someone at HR about this. They got back with me yesterday, but apparently I emailed the wrong person, so they told me who to contact. So I need to do that. I'll do that if I need to, basically, but we'll get to what my plan is now. And I don't think I'm going to need to ask about that, because I think that I will just end up staying until I get my bonus payout. So another suggestion I had was doing travel jobs and, keeping my ultrasound license and then coming back home to do travel jobs here. Technically, yes, that is an option. But the rates that travelers are getting right now, for that to be worth it for me to come back here and take a travel job, I those rates would really have to go up a lot for it to be worth it for me, because even though I would be working here in the US doing a travel job, my residence would still be listed as Sweden. So Sweden would tax that income, and the taxes in Sweden are a lot higher than here in the US. And the reason why travelers make a lot, quote unquote, of money is not because they are getting paid an hourly rate that's higher than what a permanent staffer makes. It's really the stipends that they get for housing and food, etc. What they try to do is basically reduce their housing expenses as much as possible so they can pocket the difference. And when they file taxes with the IRS here in the US, they can show that they are having duplicated expenses because they're still paying rent or a mortgage payment from their home address, while they also have expenses related to traveling. And so therefore it is a tax deduction. So I wouldn't have that luxury basically if I came home to travel but had my residence address as Sweden still. And, you know, I could maybe list my residence as my sister's house up in Spruce Pine, North Carolina, where I'm from originally. But one, that's probably tax fraud because I'm not actually living there. And two, we did kind of look more into this before a while back, me and Christopher. And I actually do need to be careful about how much time I spend in the US if my ultimate goal in Sweden is to apply for citizenship years down the road. And I do want to do that. I would like to have dual citizenship. But if I spend too much time in the US, basically the things that we were reading were saying that that might be a hindrance when it comes time for me to actually apply for citizenship. They might be like, hey, why did you spend so much time in the US if you're living here? Why do you really want citizenship if you're over in the US so much? So, yeah, I mean, a travel job is not completely off the table, but it would have to be very particular circumstances for that to work out. And as far as jobs go, it was brought up by a few people as far as me finding a job in Sweden. And yes, that's absolutely on the table. I could do that. You know, it's not going to be ultrasound, so it would be something that would pay less, but at least I would be there in Sweden. And it might be a good way for me to meet some people in the area, you know, make some friends, help learn the language a little bit better. If I do find a job in Sweden, I have a feeling that first priority once I get over there is going to be really focusing on learning the language so that I could find a job if I wanted to. And also, I mean, if I'm going to live there and I want to be a dual citizen someday, then I definitely do want to learn the language fluently, as difficult as it will likely be for my 40-year-old brain to learn a new language at this point. So getting a job in Sweden, that is not off the table and a good suggestion. I might do that someday. And along those lines, the side income, you know, of the YouTube channel, some of you suggested continuing to grow this channel and everything. And of course, that's always something that I would like to do. But the thing about this YouTube channel for me has always been, since I started making videos in 2018, I don't want this YouTube channel to become a job. I don't want it to feel like a job to me where I have to upload because I need this income, and if I don't, then I'm not going to get it. That has just never been my thing with this channel, which is probably why it has never grown very quickly. I know my production value is not very high for this channel, but you know, this is how I like to do it. So the viewers that I do have, y'all are so appreciated. And I know that y'all are here rooting me on and, you know, are invested in my story. And, you know, I see you commenting week to week. So for me, when it comes to YouTube and, you know, having this as a job, I just don't think I will go that route. I prefer quality over quantity of viewers. And y'all are some high quality viewers, I gotta say. And when it comes to working in Sweden or doing a side income, yeah, I'm sure I will probably figure something out at some point. But there was a comment or two asking like if my husband and I were going to combine finances, and, you know, basically asking if it was just me 100% on my own with my portfolio to live off of, or is it actually us together? And I don't want to obviously divulge too much of my husband's finances on YouTube. Just suffice it to say that that's not the situation at all. It is us together. Will we actually physically combine accounts? Probably not, just because it's going to be too difficult to do that with me being an American and him being Swedish. But it is us together. We're a team, and it is totally me, completely me, that is just wanting to keep going and working and earning more money to feel like I am contributing more, because I don't want to be a drag on him in any way, shape, or form. So that's it. It's just me that wants to keep going to build up a little bit more of a portfolio. Between the two of us, we are going to be fine. I really would be surprised if at any point in the future, either of us felt like, oh, we need to go back to work. I just didn't want anybody to labor under the impression that it was just me going to be struggling with my own small portfolio on my own over there. That's not going to be the case. Now, getting into the nitty-gritty of some financial gymnastics that some of y'all brought up in the comment section. And this is why I say that y'all are just top-notch, high-quality viewers, because so many of you had good ideas about what I could do with my finances to basically help with, being lean fire. And one thing that y'all brought up that I knew, but I had completely forgotten about and really didn't take into consideration when I made the other video, was the Roth IRA contributions. I had forgotten that you can withdraw your contributions, not the growth, but the contributions from a Roth IRA at any time, penalty free, from the US side of things anyway. So that is an option. You know, if my taxable account that I'm trying to live off of in Sweden starts dwindling down a little faster than expected, or whatever reason, if I feel like I need to tap into those Roth IRA contributions, I can do that. And I'm guessing since I did max out my Roth IRA for a few years, I probably have like 15 to 20K roughly. I would need to look exactly to see what the amount is, but I have a pretty decent amount that I could pull. So that will be very helpful if it comes to that. And that was a great thing that y'all brought up, because I had completely forgotten about that. And I think the most liked comment on my last video was revolving around a comment that was basically telling me to quit my primary job, job A, and increase my W-4 deductions and stop my retirement account contributions altogether, with the goal to basically increase my income for the next few months as if I had two jobs still, or close to it. And that would give me extra income to just throw into my taxable account. Well, for reasons I mentioned earlier, I don't want to quit job A because that's where my health insurance is. And, if I did this plan that they suggested, then I could stay on at job B until the sign-on bonus is through. But yeah, I don't want to mess up my health insurance, so I'm going to keep job A. And as far as stopping the retirement account contributions, I mean, it's not a ton of money right now for both jobs. I basically have it set to do the bare minimum to get the 100% match from both companies, and that's it. So I'm not contributing anything above that. And while I really don't need any more retirement account contributions, I don't want to leave free money just sitting on the table. So considering that I'm almost done either way, I'm just going to leave it. But the increasing the W-4, increasing my deductions there, that was a good idea. I could even go tax exempt, maybe, for a few paychecks here before the end. And that would have increased my income. So that's a very convoluted plan there, but it was a good one, a good idea. And if not for my health insurance, maybe I could have done that. But that brings me to the actual plan that I have come up with. So a few of you, more than a few of you actually, suggested that why don't I just move the pets over now, take some time off of both jobs, move the pets over, and then come back and keep working both jobs until the sign-on bonus pays out from job B. And then I would be free to, finish selling the house, fly over whenever, and I wouldn't have to worry about it being too hot for the pets to fly. Well, I commented back on a couple of y'all's comments and said that I didn't think I had enough vacation hours from either job to be able to do that, to take enough time off to actually fly them over and get them settled in and then fly back and keep working. Well, I was sure I didn't have enough vacation hours from job A, and I really didn't think that I had enough from job B, because being a new employee there, I'm not really accruing a lot of hours at job B. And also I just took a bunch of time off to go up to Washington, D.C. for my residence permit interview and everything. So I did not think that I had enough vacation hours at either job to be able to do that. But I double checked myself, and I am glad to say that I have barely enough time at job A to take off 1 full week there, so 3 nights of working for me. And then job B, I have a lot more vacation hours than I thought. I have like 95 hours there that I can take. So that's great. That's enough for me to take 2 weekends off from job B. And that changes things, because that means that what I could do now, if everything works out perfectly, is fly the pets over, say, on a Friday, and take that weekend off from job B. I would have the following week off from job A, and then I would take the next weekend off from job B as well. And that would give me, I think, enough time to fly over there, get the pets settled in, get them used to a new routine for a few days at least, and then be able to fly back over here and continue working the 2 jobs. So that is tentatively the plan right now, because I think it just makes the most sense. It is the best of both worlds scenario. If I can get the pets over there to Sweden now, that's a big thing off the plate for later when I move over. But 2, that allows me and my mom, when she flies in here soon, to really start getting the house ready. We can start getting it cleaned out, selling all the stuff that is not going to come with me to Sweden, which is a lot. And the house will actually stay clean, without the pets here. Sorry, Christopher. And that will just make it that much easier to get the house ready to go on the market. And for those of you wondering, I never did hear back from my neighbor about the couple of people that he thought might be interested in my house. So I'm just going to assume that I'll probably need to put it on the market as a whole and see what happens. So if I do that, then there's things that I need to do here to spruce up the place before I put this house up for sale. And without the pets here, it's just going to be a lot easier to do that. And, as far as the pets flying over with, some of you had suggested Christopher come over here and fly back with him, or have my mom fly them over there. While it's a possibility, and while my pets know Christopher and they know mom, it's not like me. They have lived their whole lives with me. So I really just wanted to be there for them in that probably most stressful event that they will ever go through in their lives, is this huge move. So I really just didn't want to leave them hanging and not be there if, I'm going to fly them all that way. So yeah, I really wanted to be the one to do it. And since it turns out I do actually have enough vacation hours to be able to do this, it is just now a matter of getting everything coordinated, which is a lot. There are a lot of requirements that Sweden wants for pets to move over there, and they have to be done in a certain timeline. It can't be too long before their flights. So yeah, that's going to be a challenge to get everything coordinated. I mean, it's always a possibility that work, either job, may try to tell me that I can't have the time off, and that's just going to be tough cookies for them because, I mean, what are they going to do? Write me up? Fire me? Go ahead. I don't care. They could at this point. I mean, I was this close to sending in my notice last weekend anyway. So the only possible thing that might derail this plan is I need to find out for sure, and I am just waiting to hear back from Skatteverket, the Swedish tax agency. We emailed them to ask them when I am considered a tax resident of Sweden. Is it when I move over, which is likely the case, and that's what me and Christopher think is probably accurate? Or is Sweden going to say that I am a tax resident when I fly my pets over? Because, I mean, I am creating a paper trail with all of these documents and everything that Sweden wants for the pets to come over. I don't think that that will be the case, but we need to find out for sure, because if I become a tax resident of Sweden the day that I fly my pets into the country, that's going to be a problem for me selling this house, because then, you know, Sweden might say, hey, you owe us capital gains for the profit that you had selling this house, which I think is about 30%. So we cannot do that. So I am basically just waiting to hear back from them just to confirm that we are correct, that I will be a tax resident of Sweden once I fly over, or after I have spent like 180 days in the country. That might be the case too. So yeah, I suspect that that's what their answer is going to be, but still, we have to confirm that before I do anything drastic, because I do not want Sweden coming after me for capital gains on this home sale. I am relying a lot on how much this home does sell for. I hope it'll be a lot. I know everybody always hopes that when they sell a house, but it really will help in my case as far as having some money to live off of over there. Okay, y'all, I think that actually covers everything. That's the plan. I really think that's going to be the best case scenario. If I can get the pets moved over here soon, then I can come back still focused on the grind of working 2 jobs until the end of June. And then I will qualify for that full sign-on bonus from job B. I can quit working at that point and then still move over to Sweden myself in the middle of summer. Is it spring? No, not as early as I might have liked to get over there, but it's not fall either. So that's why I feel like this is a pretty good compromise. And really just having the pets over there is going to help a lot as far as everything here at the house, really. I mean, of course, I love my pets to death, but, you know, Rollo does need out at least once a day while I'm sleeping. So every single day that I work is an interrupted day of sleep to let him out in the middle of the day. And, you know, just taking care of them in general, keeping the house clean. It's all extra when you have pets. And just having that little bit of extra off my plate when I come back will be a huge help as far as everything that I need to do to get myself to Sweden. So yeah, that covers it. Let me know what you think of that plan down in the comment section below. I really do feel like it's the best of both worlds. And I guess we'll close with another Irish toast. May you live for as long as you want and not want for as long as you live. Cheers. Bye, y'all. Have a good night.